Massachusetts' largest school district reportedly targeting teachers by race to teach them how to not be racist. And the state of Wisconsin considering a policy on which flags can be flown outside of taxpayer-funded school buildings. Joining us this morning is Parents Defending Education's Alex Nestor. Good morning to you, Alex. So 2 public school districts in Massachusetts promoting anti-racist affinity groups that your investigation shows are largely directed at staff members by their race. First, explain what's happening here and the point of these affinity groups to begin with.
Right. So Brookline and Boston Public Schools in Massachusetts touted that they host these different affinity groups that separate teachers based on their race or their sexual orientation or gender identity. A flyer for the Boston Affinity group says that white people are indoctrinated in white supremacy. And for Brookline, too, the flyers say that, white people should work out their feelings of shame or guilt. It doesn't appear that these affinity groups are mandatory, but what is, surprising and what we don't want to see trickle down to our students is these, ideas that we should separate ourselves based on race to address past issues of racism.
Because as you said, they're actually segregating people into groups as they're doing this. What did your polling find?
So we've done tons of different polling just, on what parents think about these issues, being infiltrating schools. We know that parents by and large don't want to see this in their kids' classrooms. We know that 62% believe that gender ideology has gone way too far in classrooms, and 74% of parents believe that we shouldn't be teaching people that they have inherent privileges or are inherently victims based on their race, and that is exactly what these affinity groups or affinity programs do.
What's the impact of forming these groups in the workplace?
Well, right. Teachers are a team, right? And their mission is to teach students, to get students on track, to know or to make sure that they can leave their education knowing reading, writing, arithmetic, the skills that they need to succeed in life beyond the classroom. And unfortunately, when you're teaching teachers to divide, to separate themselves, that's not giving kids, that unified support that they need to succeed. It sows division among teachers at a time when we need them to be, unified and rallying around these kids.
From Massachusetts to Wisconsin right now, where education leaders there are considering a policy that would require school board approval to fly flags other than what has traditionally been the norm. Tell us why this is so important there.
Yeah, so DuPair Public Schools, their school board in Wisconsin is considering this policy. And unfortunately, we've seen time and time again, schools raise flags like the Pride flag, the Black Lives Matter flag, or what have you, as an attempt to be inclusive. But really, when a school raises these flags, it says to kids and families that only one viewpoint on these issues is accepted in those schools. And in fact, we've actually seen kids disciplined for speaking out against these, having flags in schools. These are, they're government schools. They shouldn't be adopting a certain political narrative, and they should be open to all students and all families. And when they, have different flags up, that's telling kids that only one viewpoint is accepted within those walls.
And as you said, unfortunately, this has been a lightning rod of controversy because politics do not belong in schools, especially taxpayer-funded schools. Alex Nestor with Parents Defending Education. Thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You do the same.